Greetings, my robot chums, and welcome back to Marshall at the Movies, my weekly peek at Zavvi's must-havies. A disarmingly sweet and good-natured bit of whimsy, Brian and Charles is built on the universal truth that life is better with friends, and that human connection, or perhaps I should be a little less specific and say emotional connection, is no less essential than food and oxygen. A joyous little oddity and eccentric British gem, Brian and Charles is, first and foremost, a giddily silly comedy that leaves you smiling from ear to ear, but also somehow it's also achingly profound and makes some mighty big points about loneliness, happiness, and the rights of the artificially intelligent. In fact, I haven't thought this much about AI since 2014's Ex Machina, though clearly Brian and Charles is an entirely different kettle of robot fish, more like Terry and June really than Ex Machina, just wonderfully cozy and sweet and hopeful and endearingly crackers. But you know, maybe I should just stop trying to pigeonhole Brian and Charles, because I love that it's nigh impossible to classify. It's really just uniquely Brian and Charles. It is its own brilliant beast, a one-of-a-kind, distinctly Brian and Charlesy sort of experience. And what a wonder to see something original, beyond which it's also really good, genuinely entertaining and full of warmth and optimism, which is a lot for a film to achieve when essentially it's about a lonely oddball who builds a robot friend out of junk. David Earl plays Brian. Living remotely and alone, he's lonely but not about to let that get the better of him. Somehow he invents a robot friend called Charles Petrescu with a washing machine tummy, and immediately the two hit it off. Brian and Charles. Charles being played from behind a mountain of junk parts by Chris Hayward. Together the two fledgling besties explore the world and their new circumstances in this utterly charming, disarming mockumentary. There's romance and bullies and tantrums, and you're going to root for these two to overcome every obstacle in their path, because you're going to love Brian and Charles the film, Brian and Charles the characters, and I've realised just this second that I can't stop saying Brian and Charles. Brian and Charles. Brian and Charles.